As you were at the top of the table over in League One, with Wycombe still beating Wrexham for the race for the title out in League One. But it's a double match week. What's in store? We'll tell you all about it next. That's right, folks, back once again with another picture video today. It's all about match number 18, that's right, over in League One. And we'll get to it in a second. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe on your one-stop shop for Blackburn Rovers, League One, World Football. We're going to all here under one roof here. In fact, it looks like we've got a title race, or at least a race for promotion on our hands, with the top four still wide open for the race for the top two spots, which of course secures automatics. We'll tell you all of that in a minute. Of course, big shout out to the members. That's right, you know who you are. Big shout out to the patrons. You know who you are. And again, if you're new, smash your subscribe, boys and girls. But what we're going to do now is revisit the last round of games in League One. And then we'll kick it on forward to this weekend's action, which is, of course, the start of a double match week. Until then, let's get into it and revisit my picks from last time around. Alrighty then, folks, let's take a look back at last time around then, shall we? These were the matches and these were my predictions. I did call the first one, Bolton against Blackpool, spot on the nose, that's right, as Bolton trying to get themselves right back in the thick of things. In fact, they are now within striking distance of at least top four, depending on what goes on elsewhere this week. Meanwhile, Shrewsbury, big win, welcome. Gareth Ainsworth, 3-2 winners over Birmingham to catapult themselves right back into the contention for safety. Stevenage, though, they did only draw with Leyton Orient. Barnsley losing at home to Wigan. Burton losing to Stockport, who are flying high now, up to fourth. Crawley did beat Rotherham. Huddersfield did beat Charlton. Meanwhile, Lincoln lost to Wycombe in a 5-goal thriller to continue Wycombe's amazing run. Mansfield, of course, a bit sloppy right now, all the way down to 10th, losing to Bristol Rovers. Northampton and Cambridge could only draw, and Peterborough losing to Reading, who are still right in the thick of things, with Wrexham beating Exeter 3-0 in the end. That's, of course, my picks and the results. These, of course, is the table. As you see, it is Wycombe. They do have a game in hand over Wrexham, but they've got 4 points clearance over them at the moment, with Birmingham on the outside looking in. Stockport, Huddersfield and Barnsley complete the playoffs right now, with Reading, Bolton, Lincoln still within touching distance at least to getting into those top 6 spots. Going down, it's Burton, it's Shrewsbury, it's Cambridge, and it is Leyton Orient. But Cambridge are on the up. Shrewsbury's new manager. Can that save their season? Well, we'll see very, very soon. But that's, of course, the state of play there. This is where we would typically look at your predictions in the league as well, in our own little mini league. But I'm going to put a pin on that for now. We'll be back next time because it's just been too rapid these past week to try and get back into the normal swing of things. So just bear with me. But we are now looking forward to the next round of games. And look at these. Look at these treats on offer. We're going to start with a trip to Bolton as they take on Mansfield. Let's get cracking, though, as we've got lots to talk about. Bolton under Ian Everett. They're sitting in 8th right now with 27 points to the name. Up against Mansfield all the way down to 10th under Nigel Clough. 50% form for them right now, 1-3 and lost 3. They play each other 4 times since 2016. 2 for Bolton, 1 for Mansfield, 1 draw between the two sides. The last time they played was this year. It was in the EFL Cup round 1. Bolton coming out on penalties in the end. The last time they played in the league, though, at this venue, it was a 1-1 draw back in November 2020. Bolton, though, on the back of a 1-1 draw with Cambridge most recently. Meanwhile, Mansfield are beating Stevenage to go through to the round 3 of the FA Cup. The odds, 6-4 on is your Bolton, 3-1 is the draw, 7-2 is your Mansfield Town. Goal fest here, going for goals, going for drama, going for a 2-2 here with Mansfield. Get a point out of this one as well. Charlton up against Crawley in the Battle of the Seas. And that's right, coming up at the Valley. Knife and Jones as Charlton. They sit 12 with 22 points to the name. They've actually won 3 of the last 4 up against Crawley under Rob Elliott. Just 1 win though in the last 6. They sit 20th with 16 points to the name. They played each other 5 times since 2016. 3 for Charlton, 2 for Crawley. No draws thus far. They played each other back in September 2023 in the EFL Trophy. Last time around, Crawley coming out on top with a 4-3 win. In fact, they feature quite regularly in the EFL Trophy, playing 4 times in the last maybe 10 years or so. Meanwhile, Charlton on the back of that 4-0 win over Walsall to continue their FA Cup exploits. Back-to-back clean sheets for them as well. In fact, three clean sheets in the last 4 for Charlton. Meanwhile, Crawley on the back of that 7-goal bonanza, losing though to Lincoln in the FA Cup as well last weekend. Meanwhile, Charlton on the back of it, the odds here, 20-13 on for the victory, 29-10 the draw, 4-1 is your Crawley, but Charlton will win this game 2-0, keeping a clean sheet as well as Nathan Jones does. Meanwhile, Exeter City up against Wycombe. High-flying Wycombe. Can they continue it up against a tricky Exeter side who are in 11th right now under Gary Caldwell? 23 points to their name. Just one win in the last 4 up against Wycombe. At least 6 games winning streak on the road there. Top of the pops. 38 points for the campaign. 24 times since they have played since 2008. 8 wins for Exeter, 9 wins for Wycombe. 7 draws between the two sides. Last time they played at this venue, it was a 1-0 win for Exeter, who did the double over Wycombe last season, beating them 1-0 at home and 3-0 on the road. In fact, Exeter are unbeaten against Wycombe over the last 4, with 3 wins and just the 1 draw. Exeter on the back of that 2-0 win over Chesterfield to continue their run in the FA Cup. Wycombe are also into the round 3 by beating Wealdstone to make it back-to-back clean sheets as well for them. Odds for this, 12-5 is your Exeter, 21-20 is your Wycombe, 5-2 is your draw. Could be a draw, but I think I'm going to lean towards Wycombe here to take all 3 points once again to continue their unbelievable start to the campaign under Bloomfield, the coach. Meanwhile, Orient up against Bristol Rovers. That's right, coming at you at Brisbane Road. Meanwhile, it's Leyton Orient under Richie Wellens, 21st in the table, 15 points for the campaign. Just 1 defeat in the last 6. They might be struggling on paper, but form isn't too shabby. Bristol Rovers under Matthew Taylor, also just 1 defeat in the last 6. They sit 14th right now with 21 points for the campaign. 27 times they have played since 2003. 10 wins for the Orient, 11 wins for Bristol Rovers. There has been 6 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at Brisbane Road, it was a 1-0 win for Bristol Rovers. In fact, the away side has won 4 of the last 5 matches between these two sides. But the home side hasn't won any of the last 5, if you know what I mean. Meanwhile, the Orient picking up a 2-1 win over Oldham. They came back from behind there. 2-1 winners in extra time to go through to round 3. Meanwhile, Bristol Rovers picking up a penalty shootout victory over Barnsley to join them in the round 3 draw. Meanwhile, the Orient 4-3 on for the victory. 7-2 is your Bristol Rovers. 14-5 is the draw. Could be a draw here, guys. Yep, going to go with it. 1-1 in the end. Can't really call between these two sides at the moment. Meanwhile, Rotherham up against Lincoln City. That's right, coming at you at New York Stadium. Steve Evans, Rotherham just 1 win in the last 4 matches. They are 19th. I repeat, 19th in the table. 17 points for the campaign. Lincoln under Marco Scabula sitting in 9th right now. Just 1 win in the last 4. They are 26 points right now, but still in the mix for those playoff spots. 16 times they have played since 2008. 13 wins for Rotherham, 2 for Lincoln. 1 draw between the two sides. The last time they played at this venue, it was a competitive game back in March 2022. Rotherham coming out top, 2-1 win in the end. Rotherham, though, losing to Crawley last round in League One. Lincoln beating Crawley last time around. That was in the FA Cup. 7-goal thriller going in favour of Lincoln. The odds, though, for this one, 6-4 is your Rotherham's, 9-5 is your Lincoln, 23-10 is the draw. Lincoln might be better on paper and in the table and everything like that, but I just think Rotherham got a bit of psychological edge against Lincoln on this one. So they're going to win it. 2-1 winners. In the end, Stevenage up against Northampton Town. Coming at you at Stevenage, Alex Ravel's boys are sitting in 17th with 19 points to them. Up against Northampton Town under John Brady, 18th at the table, 18 points for the campaign, but they are winless in 5. They played 19 times since 2005. 3 wins for Stevenage, 13 wins for Northampton. There's been 3 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at this venue, it was a 3-0 win for Stevenage back in December 2023. Stevenage are unbeaten against Northampton Town over the last 3, but they do come into this on the back of a loss against Mansfield and to make it back-to-back games without a goal. Northampton Town also coming into this on the back of a defeat, losing to Wigan. That was back on the 26th of November. The odds for this one, Stevenage is 5-4 on for the victory, 5-2 the draw, 7-2 is your Northampton Town. Tight one again, this one. Probably leaning towards Stevenage, but hey, sitting on the fence one more time. 0-0 in the end. Let's go to Wales. It's Wrexham. It's Barnsley. It's the racecourse ground. That's Phil Parkinson's Wrexham. Trying to turn a bit of slumpy form around. They're on 50% form for them at the moment. However, back-to-back wins. They sit second, 34 points for the campaign. Up against Barnsley under Darrell Clark, winless in the last 4, but still in the playoffs. They're sitting in 6th with 27 points. They played each other 4 times since 2003. 2 wins for the Welsh, 1 for Barnsley, 1 draw between the two sides. That 1 draw was the last time they played at Oakwell, 2-2 back in April 2005, I tell you. Meanwhile, last time around at Wales, it was a 2-1 win for Wrexham back in August 2004. That was when they were all in League One, way back when. The odds for this one, 13-10 is your Wrexham, 2-1 is your Barnsley, 12-5 is the draw. Barnsley will struggle here. I think Wrexham will be too strong. 3-0 winners for them to keep their heat at the top of the table. Huddersfield Town up against Wigan Athletic, coming at you at the McAlpine Stadium. That's right, John Duff, Michael Duff's boys. They're, of course, in 5th place in the table, just 1 defeat in the last 6, 3 wins on the bounce. Up against Wigan under Sean Maloney, 4 wins on the bounce. They are 15th with 20 points for the campaign. campaign. They have played each other 13 times since 2002, 3 wins for Huddersfield, 7 for Wigan, 3 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at this venue, 2-1 win it was for Wigan, who won 3 matches on the spin against Huddersfield and looking to make it 4 this time around. Huddersfield, though, on the back of a 2-0 win over the Orient. Again, 3 wins on the bounce for them. Wigan on the back of a 2-1 win over Cambridge after extra time, taking out them in the FA Cup to continue their exploits in the Cup. The odds for this one, though, Huddersfield are 10-7 on for the victory, 4-1 is your Wigan, 27-10 is the draw. Ain't going to be as easy as I expect. Going to go with a 2-1 narrow win. Huddersfield pinching it to take all 3 points. Reading up against Cambridge. Wow, wow, wee, wow. The Matchday, Ruben Sellers' boys are 7th. 27 points to the campaign. They are, of course, 67% form for them. Up against Cambridge and Gary Monk, 22nd in the table, 13 points to the campaign. However, winless in the last 5. They've been grinding out some draws, though. They played twice. It's 2023, 1 win apiece. Of course, last time they played at this venue, it was a 4-0 win for Reading back in March 2024. Reading, though, on the back of that 5-3 extra time win over Harborough to go through into the round 3 of the FA Cup. Cambridge losing to Wigan to crash out as well. The odds for this one, though, 6-5 on is your Reading, 27-10 the draw, 3-1 is, of course, your Cambridge. I like Reading, I really do, but at the minute, I think Cambridge will just be frustrating enough to get a point out of this one. I'm going to go with a 0-0 draw, which favours Cambridge, to be honest with you, because that's points dropped for Reading in their race for playoffs. Meanwhile, Ding Dong Classic on Wednesday, December the 4th, it is Birmingham, who are 3rd in the table, up against Stockport, who are 4th in the table, coming at you at St Andrews. Played 10 times since 1997. 6 wins for Birmingham, 3 for Stockport, 1 draw between the two sides. Just 1 defeat, though, in the last 6 for Birmingham. They are, of course, on 75% form for them right now. Stockport just 1 defeat in the last 5. They're on 67% form for them over the last 6. They are 4th with 30 points to the campaign. The last time they played at this venue was a 2-1 win for Birmingham back in August 2001. Birmingham, though, on the back of that 2-1 win over Blackpool to go through to round 3. Stockport will join them after beating Brackley 3-1 on Saturday. The odds for this one, 5-3 on is your Birmingham, 31-10. The draw, 70-4 is your Stockport. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry to do it to you one more time. Gonna go with a 2-2 on this one. I just think, the teams such as Shrewsbury, such as Mansfield, such as everyone's seeing this as their FA Cup final. Birmingham at home, they've got to raise their game, and Stockport ain't no slouches. They're gonna give you a game. 2-2 in the end. They ain't going to lose it, but you ain't going to win it either. So, 2-2 in the end. Meanwhile, Peterborough will take on Burton, coming at you at Peterborough this coming Wednesday, December the 4th. They played 16 times since 2005. 8 wins for the Borough, 4 wins for Burton. There's been 4 draws between the two sides. The Posh are in 13th with 21 points to the name, up against Burton, who are under Tom Hounsell right now, 24th in the table, 8 points, 3 defeats on the run. Last time around at this venue, it was a 4-0 win for Peterborough, who have scored 12 goals against Burton over the last 3. Meanwhile, Peterborough on the back of a 7-goal thriller against Notts County. 4-3 last time around to go through to round 3. Burton crashing out to Tamworth, one of the only shocks of the FA Cup this past weekend as well. The odds for this one's 5-2 on is your Peterborough, 40-4. The draw, 6-1 is your long shots. Only 1 winner though here. Peterborough taking the points, 2-0 in the end. And then we wrap it all up. It's Shrewsbury, it's Blackpool, and it's coming at you over in Shrewsbury. Gareth Ainsworth's boys are 23rd in the table, 11 points for the campaign, up against Peterborough and a Steve Bruce, 42% form for them right now. Just 1 win in the last 4. They're 16th, 20 points for the campaign. Played each other 13 times since 2014. 8 for the Shrews, 2 for the Tangerines. 3 draws between the two sides. Last time they were played at this venue, 2-0 win it was for Blackpool back in March 2024. Blackpool did the double over Shrewsbury last season, but Shrewsbury on the back of that 3-2 morale-boosting win over Birmingham, with, of course, Blackpool losing to Birmingham in the FA Cup this past week. And the odds here for this one, 30-5 is your Shrewsbury, even Stevens is your Blackpool, 5-2 the draw. I think Shrewsbury will nick this one. 2-1 winners. Steve Bruce is not cooking right now, but a big win for Gareth Ainsworth once again in his own backyard. That's what I think. Let me know your thoughts as well using the link. It is, of course, wide open. And we'll bring you bang up to date next time around, I promise you. But that is it, guys. Subscribe, smash the like, catch you later. Until then, we're just about done.